This is the contents of the session today. We look at the whys and how of the competition. We look at how to write a blog, some topic ideas, rules for the event, FAQs, and any questions you may have. What is Blog It Out all about? Well, Blog It Out is a blogging competition that is aimed at combining two major fields, technology and creativity. So basically, maybe you've come across a topic or you've been taught a topic in college and you felt that you could explain it better than your teacher, or maybe you're doing a group study and you're teaching your friends some topic and they were like, oh wow, you teach this really well. Or maybe you had trouble installing certain software and you don't want anybody else to go through what you did. You can, crack your knuckles, put on your thinking cap, and start writing a blog on that. Any technical topic revolving in any format, like I just mentioned, could be an overview or software tutorials. We'll get into the details later, but this is basically the gist of what Blog It Out is about. It's a blogging competition that takes care of your writing skills and your technical skills. Why should I take part? You may be asking that. First and foremost, you have a chance to win cash prizes. For the top 3 blogs, we'll be giving out cash prizes in the following order: 750 rupees, 500 rupees, and 250 rupees. And the best blogs will also be featured on ACM and ACM-W ASEB's socials. And all the blogs will be published on our Medium page. And finally, last but not the least, you'll also gain the experience of writing a blog. Maybe this will spark interest in you to write continually on the blog, on your any other site, or maybe your own Medium page. Or it could prove useful in any other situation. You may never know. Now that we know why and what it is, how can you take part? First, you can join the WhatsApp groups to get updates regularly about the competition. Then read the guidelines thoroughly, pick a topic and get started, and make sure all your blog complies with all the rules we'll be showing you later on, and follow the guidelines, and finally submit on time. And that's it. It's not too difficult. So now you may be wondering, okay, I know what all to do and when to do it and stuff, but how do I get started? Where do I begin? Well, we know that this may be a little confusing for some people. Some people may be lost, saying that, okay, I want to join, but I don't know anything about writing a blog. So what good is it for me? Not to fear, we have information on this as well, just to the tip of the iceberg to get you started, and you can explore more. As you know, you have a month, more than a month to submit, so there should be more than enough time to get started, even if you're an absolute beginner. So what is a blog post? Well, a blog post is an article, guide, tutorial, or any other piece of information written in a structured format posted on the page of a blog website. It adheres to a particular domain or topic, never strays from it, and has word limits ranging from 500 to even over 2000 words. And with respect to Blog It Out, there is no such limit. You can write as much as you want to your heart's content. And they're also usually filled with various media formats such as images, videos, charts, GIFs, to have an overall pictorial look and make it easy on the eyes and make the whole process fun rather than making it a chore to read. How do you write a blog? First of all, you choose the topic. You could pick a niche, meaning something that you want to hone in on, something that's your interest. Maybe you have a topic you're interested in or that you know really, really well. You could stick on that. In case you don't have a niche, or you do but you want to write something else, that's also completely possible. You can just learn the required information about what you want to write upon, work on maybe a mini project to get some familiarity with the topic, and get started. So once you have a topic, the next thing is research, research, and even more research. No matter how well you know the topic, no matter how long you've known it, it's always best to spend sufficient time researching and gathering content before you know anything, before you even know what to do. This is the same process you would follow for maybe any assignment you've been given, or even making your own PPT. You would first gather all the content, curate it, and then start writing it. So the same applies for a blog. Once you have a topic, you spend as long as you can, sufficient amount of time, until you're satisfied that, okay, this is enough content, this will form the crux of my blog. Keep researching. And the last thing, the last tip we would give you is don't stop with one draft. Don't be satisfied with what you've got on the first iteration itself. So after your initial draft, make sure to spend some time proofreading it. We will be providing you tools, certain tools to help with this as well. And maybe have someone else play the devil's advocate, maybe your friend or someone, by reading it out loud so you can understand how it sounds, get a perspective, get a second opinion on your blog, and maybe you'll even catch some errors. Or if you too embarrassed to have someone read it already, you could also use Google's text to speech function and get the feedback that way as well. So like I mentioned on the last slide, we have some tools to help you proofread. One of them is Grammarly, which is an extension for Chrome. So Grammarly, basically, it's a paid tool, but there is a free version that should help you. It has enough tools that should help you write the blog, at least for the competition's purpose. As you can see, it'll underline any phrase that it feels it can be rephrased, and even show you the the suggestion. It'll detect spelling errors and even grammatical errors. So maybe you meant to write one word but typed out a word that's in similar spelling but doesn't make sense. It will detect that as well and show you the suggestion. You can have it installed on your Chrome browser, and it will work in any website and even Google Docs and other writing tools as well. So that's all about Grammarly. I already have it installed, so you can go here and just click install and it will be ready for you. So as you can see, I have it here. The next one is actually something called Hemingway App Editor. So let me open this as well. This is what it looks like. So this you can actually start writing here. As you can see, I can start writing here too. And just like Grammarly, it has a plethora of helpful highlights that will let you know what can be improved on your blog. So here the yellow highlight basically means the sentence you've written is a little lengthy. Maybe there's a way to shorten it or make it into two. If you see a red highlight, that means it's way too long. You should probably sit back, think how you can restructure this and shorten it, or like the previous highlight, split it into multiple sentences. If you see a purple highlight, that means you can replace this word with a shorter one. So if you hover over here, you can see instead of utilize, I can replace it with use. So if I go ahead and click it, it's been replaced. And if something's been highlighted with the blue color, that means it probably doesn't add much to your sentence and rather has a negative effect on it. So you can remove it. So if I click omit, this sentence has just as much meaning as it does before. So this also you can remove. And often, more times than not, removing will make it sound better than it was before. So as you can see, my Grammarly extension is also coming into effect. Instead of it's telling me to have remove the extra space, and here as well, it's telling me to get rid of the. It's asking me to change the punctuation, so I can either keep it like this, which makes the most sense. That's how Grammarly works. And finally, any phrase in green is known to be in the passive voice, so you can reformat it to make it an active voice. That's all about Hemingway, and you can even see the readability of your document or blog. Right now it's grade 5. It'll show you, if it's give you a rating as well, if it's good, bad, or how you can improve it. So you can also, you have your standard formatting, bullet points, heading 1, heading 2, heading 3, bold, italic, and etc. So that's all about Hemingway. You can just write the whole thing here and then copy it into a PDF or Google Docs and then submit.
All right, thank you so much for that, Sunil. So I guess you guys have a sort of an overview on what exactly this event is about, and basically what a blog is and how you can get started on writing a blog. So now let's discuss. I'm sure many of you have this question. So what do I write on? What exactly are the topics that I must focus on, right? So let's discuss that. So here are some ideas. So we've categorized these ideas and you can follow any one of these categories. In case you have an idea that does not fit into these categories and you're unsure of whether it will be applicable or not, you can at any time text on the WhatsApp groups that you're present in and we let you know if that's an appropriate topic or not. Or you can also DM us, individually and we let you know. So basically just go wild with any technical topic you can think of. So this could be a domain specific topic. Now, what do I mean by a domain specific topic? Maybe like Sunil mentioned previously, there may be something that you're really good at. Let's say maybe you're really good at web development. So you want to write a blog post on web development. Now, web development is really huge. So you can either maybe write one post or maybe like, let's say, introduction to web development. So you can write the very basics of web development. Or maybe you want to do some more intermediate concepts, or you want to focus on the advanced concepts of web development. So that's what a domain specific blog post means. That's what we mean by that. So what we mean is it can be like any domain that you take. There are a multitude of concepts that are there in that domain. So adhering to one of these concepts, you can write your blog post. So that's a very cool idea. Second, experiences. So many of you have many different kinds of technical experiences. It could be that you've interviewed for a company, for an internship. Maybe you're part of some freelancing. Maybe you're part of more technical clubs than ACM. So you could write your interview process or how you got selected / your experience working or attending events at that club. It could be maybe you completed an internship. So it could be any internship. So it could just be your internship experience, or maybe you've taken part in some contest or a hackathon, maybe with the team, maybe individually, anything of that sort. So you could just be telling out your experience, how what you did to prepare for this event, how did the event actually go, and what were your outcomes, what did you learn, what were some challenges you faced and how you overcame that, these obstacles, and basically what you think you could do better in the future. So that could be some minimal subheadings that you can give to these experiences. Basically, just let your heart out. Whatever you experience there, just actually put it on paper. That's it. That's all. And then, so you have domain specific and experiences. Another one could be tutorials. So these tutorials could be like, maybe you've done a really cool project that you want to showcase to the world. So you've already uploaded it on GitHub, but you're afraid if people don't exactly understand what it is. So you could write a blog post on how you basically made this project and how you worked on it. So like recently ACM and ACM-W ASEB, we had the RF code event. So there were a few participants who took part there and they made a currency converter. So your blog post could literally be about how you built this currency converter, what did you learn here, what technologies did you use, and how to run it. So you could, in your tutorial, you could add in code pieces and basically let people run the code. So it could be a project explanation, or it could perhaps be the roadmap of like, how to get started in a particular domain. Suppose you know data science pretty well, let's say. So you want other people also to follow the roadmap you followed because you feel like this is how, if people learn data science in this manner, it really helps them. So what you can do based on your experience, you can say, okay, a roadmap on how to get started with data science for beginners, or roadmap on how to get started with data science intermediate level, anything like that. And you could like basically type out what you did, what resources you followed, what you learned, what mistakes you made, what challenges you faced, and like anything you would do differently and things like that. So that it could be filled with a lot of information that could definitely help people. And maybe if it's not for any of this, you could start with a domain or like a roadmap, or it could be your guide to installing a particular software. We all know how installations are really terrible. So I'm sure as a part of your course as well, you may have gone through so many different installations. So your blog post could literally just be about how you installed this, what are the steps, what are some errors you faced, and how you fixed that. So that could definitely be something that's really, really useful for people. And like we said, all of your blog posts will be put on our Medium page. So there will be the top 3 people will be getting cash prizes, while everyone else's will be put on our Medium page. So we'll review it. We'll ask you to perhaps make changes if there are any, and we'll be posting it on our Medium page. So yeah, these are the broad ideas. If you have any other ideas that don't exactly fit into any of these, but is definitely technical in nature, you can always ask us if that's eligible or applicable or not. All right, so now moving on to some rules and guidelines. So first, make sure that you avoid plagiarism. Let the plagiarism be to a complete minimum. So this is your blog post that maybe it's your understanding of a domain, maybe it's your experience, maybe it's your tutorial. So write things that you have done. Don't take it from somewhere else. Otherwise, there is no point of it, right? So don't stray away from the core topic. So let's say maybe you're starting with data science, but what you do is your blog post maybe says introduction to data science, but in your blog you've actually written more about, like, let's say machine learning rather than how, like, an intro to data science. More than an intro to data science, you've written a lot more about machine learning. So there you're not sticking to the title that you've mentioned. You're rather straying away from this title. So try to avoid that. Try to stick to your core topic. And yeah, like we mentioned, blogs are places where you can be free with anything. So use as many pictures as you want, as like wherever it's appropriate, as many images, GIFs, anything like that. But try to stray away from the offensive ones and try to make sure it's readable and inclusive of everyone. And make sure that you submit it on time. So we're giving you a window from 22nd Jan, that is today. So we'll be sending out form links on the groups today. And it starts from today and goes on till March 1st. You have plenty of time to choose your topic, maybe gain some new skills and research on that, as well as write a blog post. Okay. So we'll just give you a brief overview on what you'll be judged on. So one is grammar. So try to avoid spelling grammatical errors, and grammatical errors in the sense, try to make sure your tenses are in place, subject verb agreement is in place. And for all this, Hemingway app and Grammarly, great tools. So try to download the Grammarly for Chrome extension, as well as use the Hemingway app for your content. For your content, try to use that so you can best fit in and see how your content works without any spelling or grammatical errors. And style. So by style, we mean like more like readability. So but if you have to read a very long paragraph, you wouldn't like that either, right? What pleases our eye is shorter paragraphs that are broken. So try not to put all your text in one long paragraph. Rather, make it shorter, make it crisper, and put it into multiple paragraphs. And try to avoid very long sentences with multiple commas, because then you'll keep on reading, and at some point it may be very difficult to associate what you started with and what you're ending with. So try to shorten the length of the sentences, and again, keep it crisp and to the point. Now, imagery. Always, to create a stunning blog, some sort of image is definitely a must. So maybe throw in a flow chart or your favorite GIF from your favorite show or things like that to just enhance the reading experience. Give the readers an overall wonderful experience reading your blog. And language. So most people have this misconception that, since you're writing a blog that's going to be posted somewhere on some social site, you should have heavy words. That's actually not the case. Actually, if you have heavy words, not many people will want to read it because they may not understand these heavy words. A blog post is something that's essential to readers of different types. So they may prefer simplified languages. Readers always prefer simplified yet a little captivating language. So you don't have to use any big and fancy words. Try to simplify your language and still try to make it very attractive and interesting. So this is mainly what we'll be judging on. Each of the entries that we get, we'll be looking at the grammar, the style, if you've had any good imagery or not, and your language. All right, submission guidelines. So we will be sending you a Google form, and mainly the Google form will ask you for your name, your email, your roll number, as well as a place for you to upload your PDF document. So make sure that your final blog is in a PDF document, okay? And the first page should have the following. It should have your name, the title of your blog. So try to always come up with some sort of catchy title, because that, always catches the reader's eye. And the domain of your blog. So if you're going to do a blog on app development, so just mention that it's app development. And if it's not really like a particular domain, suppose you went for an app development hackathon, so you can say it as an app development experience. So we know what we're going for, and that helps us make our reading easier because we know what topic you have chosen. So your name, your title, the domain of the blog, the name of your college, and as well as your roll number. So these are the 5 things that must be present on the first page of your PDF. Yeah. Okay, and the rest of the PDF have font style as Times New Roman, and make sure the size is 12 for your paragraphs and 14 for headings. Again, we're only giving this so that because we'll get a lot of entries, so for us to make it easier to read those entries, we're trying to stick to one particular format. That's it. So yeah, try to make it, have all those details on your first page, as well as make it Times New Roman, 12 for paragraphs, 14 for headings. And we'll be sharing the slides right after the session, so you can once again read through all of this. All right, now we'll look at some popular questions. Okay, so how long is the event for? Well, the submission window for this event starts from today and goes until March 1st, 11:59. And all your submissions must be made via the Google form that we'll be sharing today. So that's how long the event is for, and submitted via the Google form. How many entries can one person submit? So the sky is the limit. If you want to submit 5 entries, you can definitely submit 5 entries. That's totally fine. But only one of your entries, if any, will be chosen for a prize. So if you have 3 entries, doesn't mean that, one of your entries will get the first prize, second prize, and third prize. Only one of it will be chosen. The best of the lot will be chosen, if any is chosen at all. So yeah, it's, if you have the time and have the interest, it's always better to submit more than one, because that increases your chances of winning, as well as just gives you a better experience on writing blogs. Can 2 people have the same topic? Yes, absolutely. More than one person can definitely have the same topic, because we're not judging you on the topic that you've chosen. Like we mentioned on slide 15, we're judging you mainly on the grammar, the style of writing, basically for you to stick to the content, factual accuracy, and everything, and your language and images as well. So that's what you'll be judged on. There won't be any judgment done on what topic you've chosen. So can people form teams? No. This is an individual submission. So you will write an article. Of course, you can take your friend's help for helping you proofread it, proofread it, or any other sort of help that you'd require from a friend. But it will be an individual submission. So you will only you'll submit for yourself. That's what it is. There are no teams that you'll be forming here. So that's about the FAQs, and these are some useful resources that we thought we should add in. Again, we'll be sharing the slides as soon as the session gets over, so you can also access these resources. Well, that's all from our side. So hopefully we've clarified a little bit on what this event is all about. And if you still have any doubts, please do ask us.